Patton on the early charge here on the inside of Foudy to try and take the second position away. Millfeld with a push. He's got a nose out in front into one. Crowder rolls out of it on the bottom. New leader 155. This is why we love Auto Club. As we got Michelle Kirk in the chat. Shout out to Will. Will is, oh boy! Millfeld into the wall. Patton to the lead. Crowder to second. Freeman underneath the 155 to third. Hopefully the 155 is not too banged up on the right side. John Freeman and Ashton Crowder. Paths have really yet to cross. Oh! Freeman! Wow! An incredible save. I mean, tagged. When does he strike? Does he push Michael all the way through? Does he go and take it for himself here? Michael might answer that for him as Justin and Scott, teammates, nearly making contact for the race lead. Sliding up the track, not cutting the 46, a lot of room. Scott into the wall. Here goes Crowder underneath, trying to take another 2-for-1 special. Michael not done just yet. Crowder may force his hand. New leader, 27. Michael had the straightaway in the lead. Oh, we got a caution. Zachary Foudy. Oh, man. First caution of the night. Up in front of Howell. Moving to the top side, just like you said. More maneuverability. That's where Crowder wants to be. Now to the outside of Patton. Michael Millfeld around in the back of the field. The caution is back out.
And the 16 of Griffin slots in underneath on the bottom side. He's actually looking for second here. They're 3 wide.
Crowder up and nearly into the wall on the top side. Michael having to block 3 lanes like it's Talladega. Michael on the top. Now down to the middle. Has to cover off Griffin on the bottom.
No problem blocking all 3 lanes for Justin Michael right now.
Looking for that white flag. Justin Michael across the line one more time. Crowder, a block from Michael. Michael not going to cover off Griffin. Here's Cody Griffin to the inside. It's going to leave the door open for Scott Patton as they're out of shape behind him. 3 wide for second. Oh. Crowder with an inch to spare. Down in front of Griffin. Will Kirk goes around. Kirk and Norman, together down the back straightaway. But up front, Crowder is going to have a bead on the outside of Michael for the win. Patton and Griffin side by side behind. Crowder with a run, but not in enough time. Justin Michael across the line to win it at Auto Club. Another classic race here for Max V on turn 200. 2 barn burners in a row.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. It is Dirt Night in America, race fans. Welcome into Maximum Velocity Racing League, round number 7. Out of 20 this season, it's the only dirt track race on the calendar, and it's right here in the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville, Iowa, not Tennessee. There's the fun fact for you if you didn't know that. This is Knoxville, Iowa. Right across the street, there's a Hy-Vee for all your shopping convenience needs. There's also one of the best bars in the world called Dingus. This is one of the hoppinest places, and it's about to be a little more hopping tonight as one of the top leagues in all of our iRacing has decided to grace Knoxville with its presence. We are getting ready for quite a bit of chicanery here tonight. The Booth Boys at it again. My name is Tommy Cook. We got Matt Williamson. Welcome to Knoxville. Are we ready to go dirt track racing?
Man, I am more than ready to go dirt track racing. I think we both kind of had this one scheduled or circled on the schedule for us. You and I both come from a bit of a dirt background, going to dirt races, and we grew up not too far from Knoxville, Iowa, so it's a near and dear place to our hearts, and we are excited to have some action with the trucks here from Maximum Velocity here tonight.
Well, we are going to do a couple of driver interviews here in the closing minutes, and then we'll get to some of our normal pre-race stuff. We're going to go ahead and drag up one unsuspecting victim. One of the things that we'll be looking at here in a couple of minutes is points. And one driver that's having himself a pretty good point season is the driver of truck number 052, Brad Slagle. You're up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you. What's going on?
How we doing? It's Knoxville tonight. We're pretty high up on the speed chart. How are we feeling headed into tonight?
I don't think that time that I have up there, fifth fastest, is correct. I just got in the session early while the track was still good.
Oh, come on. We got to have a little more confidence than that. And you should have a little bit of confidence as well because you've been putting up some pretty good finishes this season. You're up in the top 10 in points.
Yeah, I mean, it's dirt track. It's not what I normally do, so I'll take wherever I finish as a good race as long as I can finish it.
Well, there you go. That's a pretty decent attitude to have. Anybody you want to say hi to here on the broadcast?
Just thank you. Thank everybody, putting it on. Just try to have a good, fun race tonight.
All righty, partner. Best of luck to you. Maybe we'll be talking to you again at the end of the night.
Yeah, we'll see.
So there's Brad Slagle. I'm also wanted to talk to James Lehman, but he just moved himself out of his own channel and into somebody else, so I think he might be doing some admin work. Lehman right now second on the timing charts, 7 1,000ths of a second behind. Who else but apparently the master of all, Ashton Crowder. A 21 flat is the top time in practice right now. Around the half-mile Knoxville Raceway. What makes Knoxville stand out in terms of what we're about to see here tonight? What separates it from the pack compared to other dirt tracks?
Well, I think typically for dirt tracks, I mean, as far as bringing stock cars or the NASCAR truck series to them, generally you have, half miles with quite a bit more banking than we have here at Knoxville. Knoxville really doesn't have a whole lot of banking, so it's going to be interesting. I have raced the trucks at Knoxville before on the sim, and it does seem like you can still get a pretty good run on the outside, even though there's not a whole lot of banking up there. So I think it does produce some really good racing, and I think we'll see some tonight. But the entry to the corners is really tight, and we're going to see some bumping and banging here, I think.
It's the usual MO for qualifying here, coming up in just a couple of seconds. It is 5 minutes, open for 3 laps. Your best of 3 will count towards your starting position in the heats here tonight. Before we get into tonight's format, we'll take a look at the points heading into tonight. After 6 rounds of competition and 2 absolute barn burners back-to-back at Chicagoland and last week at Auto Club. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, as we look at the point standings here, we just talked to Brad Slagle. He's there in 6th. Justin Michael is off a couple of wins here. He's still in the top spot. Will Kirk, Greg Mall, he got a win a few weeks ago, so he's sitting there in 3rd. Ronnie Norman, Andrew Schulte, Cody Griffin, he's had a lot of great finishes, but I think he's had a couple that just didn't go quite his way, and he finished a lot farther back in the pack than he would like to. So those couple of finishes have kind of moved him a little bit farther back than he would like to. Matt Rodolasso and Bill Paradise are in 8th and 9th, and then Charlie Widener sitting there in 10th.
I tell you what, 2 names absent from that, 2 drivers that have been part-time this season, Ashton Crowder. Well, Ashton Crowder's been part-time, but of course multiple wins, multiple poles. He's got the quick time right now, 21.824 on his opening lap. And Scott Patton finally has gotten some decent finishes under his belt. The 6th place 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland, on the podium last week at Auto Club. He has climbed 8 spots from where he was up to 21st. So still a lot of work to do for Scott Patton, but the results have been coming of late.
Yeah, they certainly have, and we're sitting here watching some qualifying. We were just watching Michael Milfelt, still are going around the track, and he just put up the 2nd quickest time.
Boy, Milfelt was looking to have a good race last week, led a bunch of laps up front, and then got tangled up, brought out our 2nd caution of the night, and it just was downhill from there. So hoping for a better night. We're off to a pretty good start, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely off to a good start here. A good qualifying position here is going to put you in a good position to finish well in your heat race, and then transfer to a good position for the main event. Yes, there are heat races here tonight. May have forgotten to mention that one.
Well, I've got the format posted in our notes sheet there. We have 24 drivers. As of now, this could change momentarily, but scheduled for 7 heat races that will transfer 3 drivers each. So lots of madness to come.
Yeah, certainly a lot of action, plenty of action that will be going around the dirt track here tonight. Ryan McRoberts has somehow put himself in the fence, was quite literally glitched into it, but that was after his qualifying run was over. So I think pretty much everybody's taking their times here. I think Andrew Schulte, Kerry Cleaver, and Matt Burkhart are the only 3 drivers that have yet to and are not on the speedway right now. So not sure if they'll take a time or not.
And Matt Burkhart, I think, has just connected to the session. He's been registered this whole time, but is yet to even appear on track. Andrew Schulte, I think, has been having some connection issues. He has been in and out of the session, double-digit amount of times tonight. And not sure about Rob Haynes. He's been quick everywhere we've gone this season. But no time, no appearance on track just yet. As we thank everybody for hanging out with us here on Turn 200. Michelle Kirk already in the chat saying good luck, Will. And he is... Where's he at right now in the timing charts? He got tangled up there That's really why the gap from Kirk up to Michael in the point standings was where it was at. Because of the last lap accident at Auto Club last week between he and Ronnie Norman. They both lost out big time on points as Andrew Schulte is out on track.
Yeah, Schulte coming to the green flag here for his qualifying run. We're going to go ahead and go inside the truck here with the 81. Give you a little look at what it's like to be in the cockpit.
He's only going to be able to get in one more lap after this.
You have to be really, really touchy and gentle with the throttle coming out of the corners here until they really don't get the RPMs up incredibly high. Pretty high here into turns 3 and 4 for Schulte. Gets way off of it. You just want to kind of get the rear end kicked out and slide through that corner. And he does actually end up finishing that lap.
Alrighty, heat races. Yep, we are only doing 3. It's still saying it'll transfer only 3. That's obviously going to have to be amended. I don't think we're going to have a 9-car feature. We'll see how all that shakes out. What we can tell you for certain here is that an invert of 4 has just taken place on the starting grid. So the 4th fastest driver in heat race number 1 will start on the pole. And that is driver Johnny Hamby and truck number 70 leading the field to green. To his outside will be Scott Patton. Row number 2 then will be Drew Strotman on the inside. And your quick qualifier here tonight, Ashton Crowder to his outside. Brad Slagle, we talked to a couple of minutes ago. Well, didn't sound the most confident, but he certainly did have speed in practice. He will start in the 5th position. Charlie Widener then lines up to his outside in 6th. Ryan McRoberts and Rob Haynes then round out your field. We are going on green here. Matt, it's a lovely night. The sun is beginning to set here in Knoxville, Iowa. What are some of the track conditions? Not that they're the most applicable, but just to keep up tradition.
Well, we're headed into the night here, so track temperatures are incredibly low, especially since this is dirt rather than asphalt. So it is 58 degrees right now. The humidity is at 42%, so the track may be able to keep quite a bit of moisture in it here as the night rolls on. And I think we are going to have a reset, actually, in the track conditions between the heat races and the features. So we'll keep an eye on the track conditions here because that plays a large role here on the dirt at Knoxville.
Track is pretty used up. Had a lot of people out making laps in practice, using that track up. Like you said, it will get a reset. It'll have to be worked in our 10-minute warm-up. Pace truck is off. We are rolling.
Oh, and we are 3 wide here through
Whoa.
turns 1 and 2 already.
That's Crowder trying to shoot the gap.
Oh, one truck way up into the wall. Crowder, he's going through the middle trying to take the lead already.
Bonus points on the line for the top 3. Crowder not wasting any time. He and Scott Patton duking it out for the top spot.
Crowder.
Oh, contact!
Little bit of contact.
That's dirt track racing. Drew Strotman up into the wall. He goes from 4th all the way to the back.
That truck that was way up into the wall in that first lap was Charlie Widener in the 95, but still rolling here in 4th. One position behind what will definitely be a transfer spot, but he will likely get in with 4th as well. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, in theory, we were supposed to start 21 in tonight's feature. It cut the heat races and kept the top 3 advanced. So we'll see how that goes.
The 052 of Brad Slagle, who we talked to earlier tonight. He's really hanging the right rear of that thing out.
Strotman wiggling all over just behind Slagle and Haynes. So there may not be a definitive transfer line right now, but Crowder, Patton, and Hamby with bonus points right now in their clutches. Charlie Widener tracking down the 70 here, trying to make a move as Slagle hits the wall hard out of 2.
Slagle had just had a decent move. Oh, and Patton, he hits that inside berm coming off of 4. He'll probably lose a little speed there.
You can find a way to use the berm to your advantage. It is a great tool. That was not the way to do it.
Oh, Widener way up into the wall here on the backstretch.
Should be 2 laps to go here in our first heat race. Ashton Crowder well in control, over a second over Patton. Johnny Hamby looking a little more comfortable now as Charlie Widener is searching around the track, trying to find anything he can to reel in the 70. Brad Slagle closing in on Widener now. White flag.
Whoa, Slagle. He got up into the wall. Haynes is going to make the pass here.
Every spot will count when it comes to the starting order. Checkers are out. Ashton Crowder with the heat race win. Scott Patton in second. Johnny Hamby in third. Charlie Widener fourth. Rob Haynes fifth. Brad Slagle in sixth. Drew Strotman and Ryan McRoberts. Your finishing order. Now, we'll see if our overlay software is going to cooperate with us. It usually does not like this heat racing sort of thing. So,
well, I will tell you that we did have our live timing overlay for that one. So usually we don't have it for the first one or any of the others. So we may get lucky here.
Well, let's not count our chickens here. Here's the starting lineup maybe for heat race number 2. Ronnie Norman, after the top 4 invert, will take the field to green. Tyler Chalk will line up to his outside on the front row. He joined literally 10 minutes ago. Joined the league 10 minutes ago. So we'll see what he's got. No Rainwater and Michael Milfeld Jr. then on row number 2. Milfeld, second quickest qualifier. Justin Michael said he didn't even buy this track until today, but he is an ace. He's an all-star. He starts in 5th. Jack Watts will line up to his outside at 6th. Bill Paradise and Matt Burkhart, then your top 8 and your only 8 here for heat race number 2.
So Crowder was able to make up positions and get to the front in basically a lap on that first one. We'll see if Milfeld can do the same here.
He certainly wasted no time getting to the front last week. But that was at Auto Club. This is on the dirt in Knoxville. Heat race number 2 underway. Tyler Chalk has number 7 on the truck. He's number 24 on the score sheet as there goes Milfeld through on Rainwater. Michael will do the same, side by side for the lead. Chalk wide. Norman up on the berm. And it's Chalk at the line.
Yeah, Chalk working that outside really good right now. Here comes Milfeld. Wow, Milfeld super wide there out of 2.
Still side by side for the top spot, although Chalk going to clear down now on Norman. He gets up into the slick, brings it back down, trying to use the berm for a little speed boost. Michael loose behind him.
Oh, contact!
boy.
Rainwater, he jumps the curb there. Nearly
They are
gets into
using
Michael on the exit.
every square inch of the racing surface here between Michael and Rainwater alone. Ooh.
Norman still fighting back on Tyler Chalk for the top spot here.
Once Norman figures out how to work this berm, I think he's going to be in good shape.
Well, he's been working it pretty good so far. He's been diving it in really hard and still able to get a decent exit out.
Meanwhile, Michael Milfeld behind them is rocking and rolling up top. You said not a whole lot of banking here at Knoxville, and you're certainly correct, but that doesn't mean that going up top can't make you a little time.
No, certainly not. And as these heat races continue, I think the line on the track will continue to move up because most folks like to use the bottom or the middle, and that opens up a little bit of a line there on the top side for some grip.
Ask Donnie Schatz how to work the top side here at Knoxville. He'll be able to tell you.
Either him or Kyle Larson.
Yeah, that's true.
Good battle here between Rainwater and Jack Watts. There's big contact. Around goes Watts.
On the white flag lap, Watts was in 6th. Now the caution is going to fly. All right, this is one thing we have not talked about just yet. Automatic cautions here tonight. And what that means is that since manual cautions cannot be thrown, caution laps will not count towards the lap total. So we are coming to the white flag, essentially, when we come back to this restart. And that is the procedure that is in place for every single heat and the feature tonight. So we are getting 50 green flag laps in tonight's feature, no matter what.
A little bit of blinking issues here for Tyler Chalk as well, but that tends to happen here under caution, it seems. He did blink once during green flag as well, though.
And that's always hilarious to me that as soon as the caution will come out, people will start blinking like crazy. What the difference is, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, but I mean, it's more than observational. It's it's a fact. So interesting strats. Michael Milfeld staying up in the wet stuff up top. Justin Michael goes up there with him. You wouldn't think you'd have to worry about tire temperature here in an 8-lap heat race. But Milfeld and Michael, just to be sure, doing everything that they can.
And it seems like we're single-file cautions here as well. Or single-file restarts, excuse me.
That would make sense. That's a little more in line with most dirt track racing. I know Chalk is begging to get back to the green here, not just to finish the race out, but just because I'm sure he doesn't want to hear about the blinking issues that I'm sure Ronnie Norman is all but excited to report to race control. Nose to tail, giving some space to the pace truck here. Should be green and white simultaneously for Tyler Chalk, wherever he may be. Here we go. Chalk to the bottom. Norman up top. Now they're going to swap out of turn 2. Norman should have a pretty big head of steam down the back straightaway. A peek to the inside. Tries to send it.
Oh,
Chalk opens the door. Milfeld with a big run. But it's Chalk at the line.
White flag, I think, here.
What? It's an 8-lap heat race. This is lap 9. That does not make any sense. But okay, Chalk one more lap to put it away, apparently.
Michael is looking underneath the Milfeld here as well. Won't be able to get it done.
Tyler Chalk wins it. For real this time. So thanks for coming. Ronnie Norman in second, Michael Milfeld in third, Justin Michael, Jack Watts, Mac Burthart. Problems for Noah Rainwater on the final lap. We'll finish in 7th, Bill Paradise, then in 8th.
Yeah, didn't quite see what happened to Rainwater, but he was far, far behind the rest of the field.
So a little quick burnout there for Tyler Chalk, as it is now time for your heat race lineup for heat race number 3. Again, an invert of 4, so the 4th quickest qualifier in this group is Greg Mall. Winner a couple of weeks ago at Chicagoland, will lead the field to green. Second in the points coming into tonight, starting to his outside, William Kirk. So Will Kirk, I know we got some number 9 fans in the chat, and he starts in second. James Lehman was second quickest in practice. Will start in third. Doug Heveron is the quickest qualifier out of this group. He starts to the outside on row number 2. Riley Berkma and Andrew Schulte then on row number 3. And then it is Nicholas Bradshaw and Kerry Cleaver, the rest of the starting lineup for this third heat race. Sun is continuing to go down here as the laps will tick away. And the field moving off of pit road.
And as that sun goes down, the track's going to get a little bit slicker.
Indeed.
Looking out the windshield of William Kirk here. I know my graphical settings for stream purposes aren't all the way up, but it seems like still a lot of traction there on the bottom of the racetrack.
Certainly there is a little bit of juice left to squeeze there between the slick stuff and the berm. We'll see who is going to be able to exploit that. Might just be driver number 50. He looks to be itching to get after it here.
Noah Rainwater in the chat says he hit the curb. That's why he was so far behind, and that the direct drive is not set up for dirt.
No. Pace truck onto the plateau, hangs a left into the work area. And Greg Mall punches the gas, and we go green. Lehman with a Crowder strat, trying to shoot the gap in the middle.
Oh, Mall way up on the berm.
It's not going to cost Lehman second. It might cost Mall the lead. Here goes James to the inside. And just like that, wow, what a move from Riley.
Big pile up.
4 wide, that's not going to work. Mall fighting back on the outside for the lead as this field is all scattered, but we are still green.
Heveron hard into the inside wall out of that exchange.
Man.
Will Kirk did not get a very good result out of as well. Now Schulte and Berkema. Berkema was the 42 truck that threw the big slider.
Lehman and Mall still. Oh, Lehman up over the berm. Mall gonna scoot away. It started so promising for James Lehman. Now Mall all the way up into the cushion.
Battle still raging on here between the 81 and the 42 as well. Schulte was able to get back around the 42.
Glad Schulte's got whatever issues he was having sorted out and is making the most of it here. Up 3 spots. Gonna look to grab a bonus point at least, if not track down these top 2 and go for a couple more.
Track's starting to widen out a little bit here. Schulte in the 81 and Greg Mall in the 7 are both working the way top side.
Lehman, I think, is going to make the switch as well.
Well, Berkema in the 42 ran way up high in 3 and 4 there as well. So track conditions starting to change a little bit here.
Coming to 2 to go. I think Lehman is just looking for a big send, and he's going to get it right here. He's in tag range. He's actually, whatever he's doing, I don't know how you define it, but he is making up ground on Greg Mall.
He's just throwing it in there and letting it stick. That's what I call it.
Let her fly. Oh, flying
he
up
hits
over the
the berm.
berm. Oh my gosh, coming to the white. Maul leading Lehman and Schulte.
Schulte is gaining ground here on these two as well.
Lehman going to have one more opportunity at the
Oh,
big
he's
one.
in the
No!
wall!
It might be over. Maybe not. The big send. Maul is clear. And he's to the checkers. Greg Maul wins heat race number 3. How about it? Great run for Lehman. Schulte, they finished second and third. Riley Berkma in fourth. Will Kirk in fifth. Nicholas Bradshaw in sixth. Kerry Cleaver seventh. And a DNF for Doug Heveron, who will call it quits after lap number 6. Alrighty, now it's a 10-minute warm-up, I think. We're going to go ahead and pull in our heat race winners. They don't know that we're going to do that, but it's about to happen. Hot swap here for your heat race number 1 winner, Ashley Crowder. You're in booth 200, partner. Nice work there on the crazy 3-wide pass to take the lead.
Yeah, that was really cool. I kind of forgot that we were gonna have an invert there until what's his name? Is it James?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm so excited here I can barely think. But yeah, when you said in the race control thing that we were gonna have an invert for the heats, I was like, oh man, this actually kind of sucks. I had such a good lap. So it was nice to be able to put ourselves in a good position there. I think we're gonna be starting 15th in the feature, which is suboptimal, but I'm really looking forward to it. I love this track. I love dirt racing. Just one of the last true racers, really, in sim racing. I'll run anything, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Is the strategy to pick them off one by one, or to get as much as you can early?
Honestly, I don't really know what these guys are gonna do. I'm assuming probably majority of them don't really have a ton of experience on dirt, so probably just going to have to avoid mistakes from them and keep mistakes minimal for us. The track's gonna be kind of fresh though, starting out, so it's gonna be pretty fast. So as long as we can keep ourselves on the bottom, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
All right, best of luck to you. Maybe we'll be talking to you again here soon.
Thank you. I really hope so.
There we go. My mouse is finally cooperating with me. Looking for our heat race number 2 winner. This will be a true introduction here, as this gentleman just joined the league about, 15 minutes before this race kicked off, and he's already up in booth 200. Tyler Chalk, your heat race number 2 winner. How we doing?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, can't complain. We've seen some pretty good racing. You came out on top of a pretty good battle there. With a big invert, though, you're going to be starting deep in the field here. What do you think you've got on the long haul here today?
Definitely a lot better once the track slickens off. The heat race, I wasn't that great, I didn't feel. So I feel as the race goes on, we're going to be a lot better. So towards the end of the race here, we'll be fighting for the front.
Well, there you go. That's it sounds like a plan. I think you're the guy to do it here from deep in the field. So we'll keep our eyes on you as this race rolls along. Tell me as well, what room did I just pull you from?
I'm not sure, honestly, man. I know I was with Noah Rainwater. So.
Okay. Well, best of luck. Maybe you can whip him into shape too while you're down there.
Might have to.
Alrighty, heat race number 3 winner in a spirited battle with James Lehman. It's Greg Maul. Welcome back to booth 200. Awesome heat race there for you. Decided to move up to the top and had to keep avoiding dive bombs from James Lehman over and over again, but you walk away with it nonetheless.
Yeah, it was an interesting little heat race there. I wasn't sure if with all the rubber that did get laid down during practice qualifying, and then the 2 heats that were leading up to ours. If the top or maybe even the middle was gonna open up for us there a little bit, and sure enough, it actually did. So good to see that there's maybe a little bit of speed up there. Maybe if it's later on during the feature, with Warmless right now and having a little bit fresher track, it's going to be maybe a little bit different story as far as when the feature gets started here. But hopefully we can get some laps turned and see if that top will open back up for us.
And was going to be my next question is, with 12 cars to pass and only 50 laps to do it here in Knoxville, are you worried about getting to a particular lane or just working through traffic?
I think I'm just curious more or less to see, if most everybody in front of me is gonna stick to the bottom, like it seems like most everybody was doing there in the heat races. If they do go towards the bottom, I think that'll play in our hand a little bit better, just to open up that top a little bit quicker. But if traffic does kind of spread out in the corners, going from the bottom all the way maybe towards the middle, that might be interesting. I don't know if I have a plan to counter that, but we'll just have to play that by ear and see how that plays out.
A lot to take in here over the next 50 laps, and we'll be looking for driver number 7 to rocket his way up through the field. Best of luck here in the feature.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Matt Williamson, we got about 4 minutes before we get rocking and rolling. We normally save this until after we get through the starting grid, but we do have a couple of things, especially if anybody that just came in after the heat races and is watching the warm-up here, a couple of things to keep in mind for the race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you talk the drivers that just won the heat races. They are already talking heavily about those track conditions and how they're hoping they'll turn out, or how they think they may turn out towards the end of the race. So we'll have to see how this track develops throughout the night. It is a 50-lap feature. You noticed the invert. So a lot of our winners are going to be deep in the field. So it's going to be an exciting race to try to watch the fast ones go through the field here tonight. Our weather conditions, we are going into the nighttime here, so I think the track is going to get pretty slick as we continue on. The track temperature is very low. Ambient temperature right now is only 65 degrees, so that's a pretty cool night here in Knoxville. 0 fast repairs. I guess that's probably the one big thing that we might notice here tonight. I think there's going to be some beating and banging, and you got to take care of this thing to stick it on the track for all 50 laps.
And not only no fast repairs, but also something to keep in mind that we did see in heat race number 2. Again, automatic cautions, no admin-triggered cautions tonight. When a caution flies, it will not count towards the overall lap count. So we are doing 50 green flag laps in tonight's feature. Man, oh man, this is exciting. I think at least iRacing is showing that all 24 drivers that are in the session are going to take to the starting grid. We were originally told it was going to be a starting field of 21. In real life dirt track racing, of course, this is my bread and butter since the trucks. This is my Friday and Saturday usually is out on the dirt tracks across the Midwest. I always feel bad if we have a starting field of 24 and the promoter says, no, you can't start that 25th guy, and then we send 1 or 2 guys home. So hoping that's the case here, and that everybody will be able to take to the starting grid tonight. Regardless, man, week in and week out, Maximum Velocity Racing League proves that this is one of, if not the best group of truck drivers this side of Road to Pro or the Coca-Cola E-Race or E-NASCAR series. It's a fantastic group. They've put on some absolute barn burners this season, and I don't know about you, but I think we're in for another one here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the racing in the heat races was very fierce, but very clean. A lot of times when you have normal pavement oval drivers take stock cars to dirt, especially here on the sim, you really don't know what to expect, and expect a little carnage. But Very clean and respectful racing, but fierce nonetheless. And I'm hoping that's what we're going to get here in the feature as well. Also, if you're watching us and a little bit newer to the channel, thank you for watching. We appreciate it and appreciate your support of the Maximum Velocity Racing League as well. If you haven't already, you might think about subscribing to Turn 200. It's free. It helps us out. And if you subscribe, you get to chat with us in the live chat as well. So I appreciate anybody that's out here watching us. As got a couple of drivers getting hard into the wall here in warm-up. And with this many trucks out here, the track is going to dry out, slicken up. Rubber will be put down much more quickly than it did in the heat races. So it's going to change quickly here for our drivers tonight.
We've definitely blown the grease off of it here. It is looking pretty primo to get rolling for 50 laps here tonight for the 7th round of the revival season of Maximum Velocity Racing League. And again, like Matt said, thank you all very much for coming and spending your Thursday night here with us. I know the drivers appreciate it. We appreciate it as well. And with that, with a starting grid invert of 15, this is how they're going to line up for tonight's feature race at Knoxville. Dirt Night in America here for Maximum Velocity Racing. And leading the field to the green flag is Will Kirk, looking for a big points boost. Second of the points right now, needs a pickup though. He leads the field to green. Jack Watts will line up to his outside. He had problems late in the heat race, and you know what? That's going to be to his benefit here. Rob Haynes and Riley Berkma on row number 2. Justin Michael says he doesn't have the most confidence coming into tonight, but he's going to start 5th. That ought to put some pep in his step. Charlie Widener lining up to his outside in 6th. Andrew Schultz, Michael Milfeld Jr. on row number 4. Johnny Hamby and James Lehman round out your top 10 starters. Ronnie Norman, Scott Patton, row number 6. That is a power duo there. Then your heat race winners are the next 3 starters. Greg Mall in the 13th position. Tyler Chalk, in 14th. Ashton Crowder in 15th. Then it's Brad Slagle to the outside of heat race number 1 winner in 16th. Matt Burkhart, Nicholas Bradshaw on row number 9. Row number 10 is Drew Strotman and Noah Rainwater. From 21st on, it's Kerry Cleaver, Ryan McRoberts, who is making his debut here tonight, Bill Paradise, and Doug Everon.
All right, Tommy, we are rolling under the lights, and you called it. The track in the warm-up, it's gotten worked in pretty darn good here. I think we are on par track-wise for some spectacular racing from the drop of the green flag here tonight.
Knoxville is one of the coolest sporting venues in the United States. I've had the pleasure of being here twice. A fantastic atmosphere and some race-crazy fans. As we're rolling through turns 1 and 2, past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, and the Brian Clausen Suites. This field is gearing up for 50 green flag laps. An invert of 15 has put Will Kirk and Jack Watts at the front of the field. Maximum Velocity Racing League Dirt Night in America is underway at Knoxville. Watts to the lead on the outside. Berkman will pull up to the outside now, challenging for that second position.
Good start for Watts on the outside. Now Berkman looking for the second position.
Michael Milfeld Jr. trying to make big moves up through the middle. Now will choke 81 of Schulta. They're stacking up. No caution. Up there it is. They're still piling in here, and the caution will fly. Paradise, one truck is upside down. Goodness gracious.
We're still trying to get sorted out. Milfeld got stuck. His rear axle got stuck on the fence, so he had to tow to the pits.
Wow.
My goodness.
That was quite the stack up. It starts with Michael Milfeld Jr. making an aggressive move. And big pile up from there.
Well, when you got this many trucks this close together at a dirt track that's only getting slicker by the minute, it's a tough ask for the drivers here. But you mentioned it, Milfeld trying to make the middle work here. I mean, he has the 81 on his inside, rubbing on that left rear quarter panel. It gets them both pretty loose here. And of course, a bunch of trucks behind him trying to take the spots. Milfeld just gets too sideways off of that contact. He comes right across the 81 here, trying to exit the corner, and it's going to turn the 81 around here as well. Norman Crowder is involved here. A lot of your heat race winners get kind of involved in this one as well.
I think the truck that'll go upside down is Johnny Hamby, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. I mean, there are like 10 to 12 trucks all just strewn through the racetrack here right now.
I think we are lining up for the restart here, if I'm not mistaken. So a little quick caution. Watson Berkma on the front row. Jack Watts, the leader, elects the outside and will punch it. We're back underway.
And double file restarts here in the main event. A little bit of a change from the heat races.
Rob Haynes, not sure what he did on this restart, but he has picked up a black flag. So Haynes dropping back rather quickly.
Oh, way stacked up right around
3 wide.
5 to 10th or
4 wide.
4 wide.
It doesn't work, fellas. Haynes going to drop to the inside and hit the pit road. Not sure what happened to the 199 there. But a penalty nonetheless, and Jack Watts leading the way by over half a second here over Riley Berkma, who just put the purple lap of the session in and is closing.
Patton and Lehman get together. Crowder is working his way through the field, even after being involved in that incident here on the bottom.
Don't look now. Justin Michael is up to third and challenging for second. Tyler Chalk up to fourth, just set the purple lap of the race. He is absolutely cranking his way up through the field.
Yeah, your heat race winners showing
Crowder just got a slider and a door full of Scott Patton. Oh, and Chalk into Michael for second. It's all happening. Patton into Lehman. Widener gets a piece. Bumping and banging all the way around.
Oh, there's more contact between Patton and Lehman.
It's a half
I don't
mile
think this one's over.
No, it's not. Oh, Berkma, a little contact now. Easier to tell you who isn't beating the crap out of each other around Knoxville.
Chalk still trying to work on Justin Michael right now. Not close enough here, but Berkma might be. Oh, gets just into the back of Chalk here on entry.
Opens the door for Crowder to try and get into the middle of this mess. Jack Watts was loving all of that until Justin Michael was able to break free. Michael is closing in on Watts for what will be the race lead.
Just under a second advantage for Watts right now. He's trying to extend it, but Michael is on the move.
He did put a little bit of time on him that time. Watts over Michael, that is. As Patton Battling side by side with Riley Berkman to try and move himself into the top 5. Gonna feed him a slider, or try at least. Riley fighting back on the outside.
Berkman nearly stuffed into the wall. He's going to rail it around the outside here, trying to use that cushion on the top. He'll have a big run. In front of them, Crowder has caught up to Tyler Chalk. He's looking for third. Seems like that middle lane working very well for some of our drivers here right now.
Heat race 1 winner on the inside. Heat race 2 winner on the outside. Crowder, quickest in practice, quickest in qualifying, cannot find himself clear of Tyler Chalk.
Crowder is right on that berm on the inside of the track. It's very hard to see here from the TV cameras, but trust me, it's there. You've seen him hopping it all night long.
Over the last 2 laps, Justin Michael has cut the advantage and a half for Jack Watts. So the 87 is back playing catch-up again.
Berkman and Lehman fighting now. That would be for 6th. Michael continues to put time in on the 77 here.
Down to about 0.3 of a second. Michael's got that middle rolling really well. Watts is committed to the top side. Oh, ascend, and they go around! Chalk and Patton in turn number 4. Oh, and Charlie Widener going to hit the 46 as well.
Oh, they're still piling in, trying to get slowed up here.
Patton back across. And they're still spinning behind. Patton says he sent it too deep and jumped the curb. It was 100% his fault, and that's exactly what I saw too. I'm sure the replay doesn't lie.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the replay here. It's Chalk and the 7 in front. Whoops, that's not the button I wanted to press. We're going to roll it back here real quick. As we're coming down the straight stretch here, Patton is going to try to dive it way down to the inside. I mean, he hops the curb like immediately on entry into the corner, nearly entered on the inside berm there, and just gets into the left rear of Chalk, spins Chalk around. Patton goes around here as well. You mentioned Widener slams into the 46 here also. And more drivers trying to get slowed down, kind of come together here. As those involved in the incident were trying to get turned around.
Our pole sitter has dropped down to the 14th position. Will Kirk has got some extra support in the chat here tonight. Uncle Earl and Aunt Marilyn also watching, along with Michelle. Hopefully he can turn it around here. We're on lap 14. Still plenty of time here. Is that caution what Jack Watts wanted to see, or Justin Michael? Not sure, but they are going to be side by side. Watts sticking with tried and true on the outside.
Great
Here
restart
comes
from
Crowder. Exactly how he got to the front in his heat race. Tried to shoot the middle. This time it closes up, but he's right here.
Lehman is right here as well in the 50. He was underneath Michael for just a split second. Crowder still working the middle lane.
Oh, it's going to be tight. He'll slip back in the line, but now he's going to shoot the middle again. Crowder is here.
Oh, contact! Big contact, Michael! I can't believe he saved it.
They both save it. They're still sort of sorting it out in the back of the pack as Michael jumps back into line. New leader, Crowder, Lehman to the outside. 2 fastest trucks in practice have gotten back together. There's a lot of crunching into turn number 1. We'll watch for the yellow laundry to be thrown. Not seeing it just yet.
Berkma has worked his way up to 3rd here as well. Berkma showed good speed. Oh, Greg Mull's around. Oh, Mull is upside down.
Oh, my.
What a ride for the 7.
Your heat race number 3 winner, Michael, Watts, Maul, all together. Andrew Schulte going to get a piece of this as well. And you're not the first truck to go upside down tonight. And we'll see if he's the last.
Well, Greg Maul went for a whale of a ride, and I think he took this shitty Coolers number 7, and I think he dropped one on the track. He gets super sideways. He kind of gets loose. I'm going to have to back it up here for a better camera angle. Justin Michael ends up slamming into him because he kind of came down into Michael's line. We'll go ahead and go far chase here with Maul. He gets back into the back of Widener, trying to get the power down. Gets the back of that truck all yawed out. Comes down into the low line where Justin Michael is. Michael slams into him, and it is on from here. Maul just gets absolutely sent into the outside wall. And another one for good measure there from the 22.
Heveron had
Heveron.
He had pretty good qualifying speed and has gotten the shaft for it, unfortunately.
We'll go full speed one time here with Greg Maul in the cockpit. And this is what it looks like looking at the dirt here at Knoxville Speedway. Alrighty, folks, just a few laps turned there, but a big shakeup in the lineup.
5 drivers got meatball flags out of that. Ryan McRoberts, Rob Haynes, Bill Paradise, Doug Heveron, and Michael Milfeld Jr. 4 of them have been cleared already, though. So they should be out back on Knoxville and on the attack. This will be the first time we've seen the race leader elect to take the inside on a restart. Ashton Crowder with Lehman to his outside. Back to it on lap number 19. Norman and Watts side by side as we're bumping and banging for the lead.
Lehman had a big... Oh, still has a big run. He gives a little... Tries the bump and run on the 27.
Crowder said it. He's a racer's racer. He knows the way of the bumper here on the dirt track and how to handle one.
Well, Lehman, he's getting huge runs off the middle and the outside of the racetrack right now. He pulls even here into 3.
Crowder trying to catfish right along the berm on the inside. Lehman looking for a big speed boost off the banking on the top side. It's Lehman at the line. Can he find his way clear? Berkma up there as well.
That outside lane has definitely come in for the drivers. Just 20 laps into this race. Lehman is just about clear here on Crowder down the stretches. And he is now.
New leader, James Lehman, after missing Auto Club last week. He's all about having the fun here at Knoxville. Berkman just hit the berm behind these two and now is under fire from Ronnie Norman.
Berkman fishtailed down the backstretch. It allows Norman to pull up right next to him. Justin Michael in trouble a little bit there in the back as well. He's in a heated battle.
It's Widener and Burkhardt, who we've not mentioned at all tonight.
Berkman up the track a little bit. Norman still running the middle. Norman is clear here.
Ronnie Norman up from the 11th position up to 3rd.
Now Andrew Schulte and the 81 is going to have a conversation here for the 4th spot. Maybe less of a conversation and more of a knockout, but he's here nonetheless.
Schulte's been involved in, I think, 2 of the 3 accidents so far in this race. just took Greg Mall off the dome and is still marching on in the top 5 and looking for more. As Berkma and Schulte have both caught back up to Ronnie Norman. We are across halfway officially, lap 26 up on the board. As Lehman, Crowder working back to it on the inside, but Lehman pulls away.
Yeah, Crowder entering on the bottom, sliding through the middle, trying to get decent runs off. That is a classic Knoxville Speedway line right there.
And now how long does Crowder wait for Lehman to make a mistake here before he decides to jump up to the top side himself?
Well, Crowder's been around on the bottom all night here, and lucky for him, a lot of drivers have elected to start running the top. So as long as that continues, he can continue to run it and still have good speed here. I think what he's hoping for is usually the bottom is a little bit more consistent. You don't get the right rear outside of your linear motion quite as much as you usually would on the top. So I think Crowder's going for consistency here and just hoping that Lehman makes a couple of mistakes there on the top, because it will definitely happen.
Ronnie Norman tried to take the shortcut through 3 and 4, found himself a little bit up in the air, but is hanging tough here and actually putting in a little bit of time on these top 2.
Andrew Schulte also running the extreme high line just like Lehman was, or is. He's up into the wall on entry here. That is very easy to do.
Crowder pulls even. Lehman will have the momentum, but Crowder just out of reach for now, but is slowly plugging away, keeping Lehman right where he wants him. And now, a couple of laps away from lap traffic, deciding some things here for the leaders.
Well, 20 laps to go, and what happens with the track conditions is as the top slicks off, as more people start to run it.
Right in front of the leaders. Truck around. They're going to get around it. One truck backwards down the back straightaway.
That's Bradshaw.
So Nicholas Bradshaw finds himself pointed the wrong direction after some contact with, I think, Kerry Cleaver. And we're under caution yet again.
And Bradshaw, he tries to throw a slider here on Cleaver, and he's just not quite clear. I think he realized it right at the end. He tried to pull off of it, but here on the dirt, you just slide right up the racetrack with that momentum, and comes right across the nose of the 69. The 69 doesn't back out of it, as he doesn't need to. It's not like that's what he should have done, and the 25 goes around. We'll take one more look at it here. I'm going to back it up just a little bit more. And it actually happened kind of here in the middle of the corner as well. The 25 gets super loose. And as he tries to come up the track and clear himself, he just wasn't quite there. And him and the 69 of Cleaver come together here.
We just had a problem under caution, I do believe. Andrew Schulte and Riley Berkma, who were racing together under green, have found their way into each other under caution. And Schulte is in the pits.
Wow.
So, not sure what facilitated that, but it certainly is something that happened. James Lehman says he is taking the inside and he's going to treat Ashton Crowder like a real dirt racer, is the quote over the radio. What that means, I don't know, but we're about to find out. 20 laps to go, and I'm at 19 at the line.
Good start here from the 50 of Lehman. He gets out in front. Crowder works the top side here. Norman on the bottom. Now Crowder goes to the patented 27 inside line right on the berm. Gonna try to clear himself here. It's not there.
He at least rolled out of it, but he was trying. He may get it done this time. Big Sando, trouble on the front stretch. We're under caution again. I think it's Noah Rainwater that has gone around right at start-finish. And I'm sure he has help from who? Drew Strutman. So that's what it's under caution again.
Back bumper to the 05 is not even there, so we're going to have some track cleanup here.
Keeping him busy here all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think, well, actually, he hasn't had it before the incident, so they've cleared it off long ago, I guess. You're right, Strotman, I think he expects Rainwater to stay more on the top side here. He gets a little bit loose trying to turn farther down the racetrack. What happens here on dirt, when you turn it to the left, you don't just go left. The rear of that truck is going to swing out to the right before you start moving towards the left, and he tags the 05 of Rainwater as it happens. Rainwater goes around.
These restarts are so hard because you get out of your rhythm. And for me, it takes a couple of laps to figure out that rhythm, no matter how well I'm doing in the race. So I'm sure that is exactly what happened between those two. Just trying to get back in their groove, come together, and they'll have to try and figure it out again.
Not only do you get out of your rhythm, it always seems like the track changes just a little bit every time you have a caution. I don't know what I don't know what it is. It just seems like it changes while you're on those pace laps, and then you try to do the same thing you were doing before, and it just doesn't work.
Brain games from the track, from the sim, and also brain games from your fellow competitors. That is what James Lehman is going to do this time, because he is taking the outside now.
Well, Crowder, when he was the leader and got to choose, he chose the bottom a couple of times. So I don't think Crowder's really going to be all that disappointed.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think Lehman's going to be upset that he's on the top side this time. Frankly, I was surprised he took the bottom last time, but he made it work.
Well, the one thing that starting on the bottom does is it pretty much ensures nobody is going to try to throw a slider on you and hit you on the inside.
You sure would hope not. If somebody tries to throw a slider from the inside, they are going to go flying into your cockpit. Here we go. Inside of 20 to go. Awesome restart here for James Lehman.
I think Berkman was... Oh, there's trouble! Big trouble!
Up and over. No caution. We're still green. I mean, Charlie Widener was upside down. We're staying green.
Well, Widener's hood's about to fall off as we speak, but we're still rolling. 17 to go. Lehman and Crowder right back at it again.
Crowder trying for the slide. Gonna pull it off. Lehman now with a crossover on a big run. Takes the lead back and he's clear. Now has to work on the bottom.
Crowder and Lehman working them like they're 410 sprint cars here around Knoxville Speedway with the good old crossover move from the 50.
Now it's Lehman on the bottom, looking for a slide. Gonna try and crowd Ashton Crowder on the top. He's gonna cross him over with a big run down the back straightaway. Crowder looking for a slide. Lehman gonna try and cross him over at a turn 4, but a clean crossover there for Ashton Crowder, and he is back on point.
Lehman is not working the top here through turns 1 and 2. It seems like maybe the top is starting to go away a bit here as we wind down. Less than 15 laps to go.
Crowder wide. Lehman now trying to catfish the bottom. Oh boy, has to roll out of it to not straight line the left rear quarter panel with that 27. Ronnie Norman, James Lehman, Ronnie Norman, Justin Michael, Riley Berkma, your top 5. They're battling side by side for 6 behind them. It's Crowder trying to put some distance between he and Lehman. Oh, Michael up into the wall.
Oh, Burkhardt up into the wall hard. Him and Slagle are battling side by side still. Slagle going to try to move in front of the 4 here. Not quite
contact.
There. Oh, Burkhardt's in the wall again.
Here comes the 7 of Greg Mall. Oh, Michael tags Berkema! Caution! Justin Michael was going so slow, tried to save it, moved down the track into Riley Berkema, and Berkema hit hard. Oh, man.
And you see Michael gets way out of shape on entry here into the corner. And he's just never able to get the control of the truck back. Oh, Berkema tries to get down low to avoid the 87. The 87 still sliding down the racetrack. Berkema goes hard into the outside wall. Man. Meanwhile, behind them, Burkhart was pounding that fence so hard I thought he was trying to make pancakes.
Well, it wouldn't be a dirt track race without a starting order dispute. That's exactly what we've got between Burkhart and Slagle. I don't weigh in on these sorts of things on a weekly basis. I just enjoy seeing the disputes. Slagle, for being, again, pretty nonchalant about his chances here tonight. He has worked his way up slowly but surely into the top 10. It looked like he has top 5 pace. We'll see what he could do here in the closing laps, but I think all eyes for the next 12 circuits, the next 6 miles, are going to be up front between Ashton Crowder and James Lehman. It is about to be a slugfest in Knoxville. Crowder with control on the inside.
Good start from Crowder. Lehman tries to squeeze his way underneath. He does!
Muscles his way to the inside of the 27, looking for the race lead. Oh, little contact. They're both a little bit loose. Michael going to challenge Norman for third. Lehman giving it everything he's got. Oh, Michael loose!
Michael's around again!
And another pretty big pile up here. Goodness gracious.
Now, Rainwater, Bill Paradise. Obviously, Justin Michael. I think Slagle was involved somewhat there as well.
I think Will Kirk gets... No, it's actually Jack Watts that I was looking at. Gets locked together with Drew Strotman. Goodness gracious. I mean, that was a nasty one.
And you're going to see a similar incident from Michael as you saw on the very last one. As he comes out of turn 4, he gets loose. He overcorrects it to the right. And then when you try to swing it back into the left, it just overcorrects itself. And he ends up going around. I mean, it was almost identical to what just happened a couple laps ago.
Wow. Man, oh man.
I'll tell you what the constant is, though. Ashton Crowder and James Lehman still battling for the lead.
These two have been... No, they've been getting at it a little bit more and a little bit more. Ensuing restart. It's been pretty tasteful so far, but you know, a win is on the line. Crowder's done a little bit of winning this season. James Lehman has not. He's done a lot of work in this season. I'm sure he would love to see the fruits of his labor and get to victory lane.
I'm sure he would. You mentioned it. Most of the drivers always mention it as well, just how much time he has put into this league and getting it back up and running again. And after some multiple incidents, we have gone to single file restarts.
Back to it.
Nine laps to go here. Crowder, big advantage on the single file restart. Norman is actually giving Lehman all he can handle for right now.
A lot of work to do for James Lehman to try and reel in Ashton Crowder. He absolutely sent it there into 3 and 4, trying to make something stick. But it's Crowder out front.
Big cluster here just outside the top 5. It's Greg Mall, Will Kirk, Tyler Chalk is still trying to work his way up from... Oh, big contact here with Kirk in the 9. Chalk's truck, I don't know how it's still put together. Oh, big slider here from Chalk.
No, I don't either. I'm sure the rivets on that thing are absolutely screaming.
Chalk pounding the right rear sheet metal off the fence. Oh, Kirk way out of shape here, out of the corner.
Burkhart was on the charge to try and get past Ronnie Norman, but has lost the drive there. We'll now have Brad Slagle to deal with here in the closing 5.5 laps.
Well, Slagle and Burkhart, no strangers tonight at Knoxville, looking to go at it again here.
Field still trying to get itself sorted out here. Has 5 laps to go. Ashton Crowder in control by 1.25 seconds. Shouldn't catch lap traffic here before the end of this one. Ashton Crowder just hoping they can avoid a caution. Oh, and there it is. Caution is out. 2 trucks around. Will Kirk is one of them. They're still crashing. Rainwater and Rob Haynes, I think, have made contact. Riley Berkma also involved. Oh, boy.
Oh, yes. Hey, what do you say we make a double file restarts again?
Well, we'll see. I'm sure if it was up to James. Well, I mean, it is up to James, but he wants to play consistent. So we'll see.
Alrighty, what will we see here as Maul? Oh, Maul and Chalk were going at it. Maul gets super loose here into the turn. He loops it around. Kirk gets into him. Then it's Watts into him. Everybody trying to get checked up. Berkma runs into Will Kirk there as well. Oh, and Rainwater gets absolutely slammed by Rob Haynes, who was trying to avoid trucks on the inside of the racetrack. About 5 or 6 trucks involved in that one altogether.
It's a mess. Who's going to clean up all this dirt after the race? That's what I want to know.
Nobody. It stays there, Tommy.
Oh, so isn't like a Bristol thing?
No.
That was a joke.
Can you imagine Cup cars in Knoxville?
No.
No, I can't either. It'd be funny, though.
Be a big round New Hampshire.
With dirt on it.
Well, yeah. I thought you meant just pavement. If they took all the dirt off and paved it. Like, that is against the religion of dirt track racing, I think. All right, and I think, unfortunately, we are keeping the single file restarts. Matt Williamson wants to see the double file.
I live for the chaos here on dirt, especially in the trucks.
I think we're still in for some chaos here. James Lehman is bumping away on Ashton Crowder under caution here. One last shot for the 50 to try and get himself a win. Good start here for Crowder.
Good start for Crowder. A little bit of a better start here for Lehman, but only 3 laps to make it work. behind them. There's a big hubbub here for 5th. Slagle, Chalk, Greg Mall all involved in this one. Slagle has the 5th spot for now.
2 to go. Illinois Green is out. Crowder did clip the curb a little bit there, but he's still making time on Lehman. Four more turns for James Lehman to try and make his way to the front as Tyler Chalk right in the wall all the way 3 and 4.
That Chalk way up in the wall.
We'll see if Lehman's feeling a Ross Chastain here in Knoxville. Otherwise, it's going to be Ashton Crowder back to victory lane.
Oh, he dives in through the berm.
It's going to open the door for Norman to move up to second, but Ashton Crowder takes the win in Knoxville. Dirt Night in America goes to driver number 27. Ronnie Norman will take the second position. James Lehman in third. Absolutely carnage in 1 right now. I don't know what to make of any of that. A lot happened there in the final couple of turns.
The 27 of Ashton Crowder. Oh! He sent it here into 1 for the big looper and then gets a helping hand.
Usually likes to try the drill spill. Andrew Schulte giving him, like you said, a helping hand on that. And we'll see if we get it here on the dirt. Legs apart on the landing. I think maybe he's actually going to park this thing in victory lane.
He's getting help from Lehman to do that as well.
Got to hang a really tight. Oh, don't tell me they locked the gate on us to victory lane.
He's going to try to find his way in there still. He's coming around the backside.
You got to come around the other side.
Lehman's blocking traffic for him. I think Lehman's stuck.
I think Lehman is stuck. He's going to tow. Lehman said, I wanted to get in there for a photo with you.
There it is.
Ashton Crowder in Casey's General Store victory lane.
And a burnout to boot.
So he will celebrate a well-earned victory here tonight. I mean, what a season for him. He started off the season saying he was going to be part-time. He's a little less part-time now. That is victory number 3 and start number 6. And I think he's going until it drops on him. Yep.
There it goes.
So Crowder with his 3rd victory of the season. Ronnie Norman will take a podium here. A 2nd place finish for him after the last lap pass on James Lehman. Lehman will finish in 3rd. We'll talk to all 3 of these gentlemen momentarily. It is a debut 4th place finish for Tyler Chalk. He was getting after it all night. How about Brad Slagle? Very ho-hum about his chances here tonight, but he'll walk away with a top 5. And that will continue his good point stretch that he's got going. Greg Mall, a hard-fought 6th place finish. Didn't mention Scott Patton at all tonight, really. He will finish in 7th. Jack Watts will finish in the 8th position. Good rally for him. Michael Milfeld Jr. in 9th. Andrew Strotman rounds out your top 10. Justin Michael back in the 11th position. Kerry Cleaver 12th. Bill Paradise in 13th. Will Kirk in 14th. Matt Burkhart in 15th. Riley Berkema and Noah Rainwater finish on the lead lap all the way through the 17th position. 1 lap down in 18th for Rob Haynes. And I believe DNFs for Andrew Schulte, Charlie Widener, Nicholas Bradshaw, Doug Heveron, Ryan McRoberts, and Johnny Hamby through the 24th and final position. Your 3rd place finisher here tonight is James Lehman, although it could have been a 2nd place finish if it weren't for the last-ditch effort there and the absolute send into turn number 3. But regardless, an awesome run for you here tonight. Congrats on the podium.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I mean, you were talking about how confident you were heading into tonight. It did not take you very long to find your way to the front. and then absolutely treated to some fantastic battling between you and Ashton Crowder all night.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I get to the front or somewhere near the front that I could be able to run the line that I really wanted to run, and that was the high side for most of the night until the high side became no more. And it came no more pretty quick. I think it was lap 30 is when the high side was like non-existent anymore, and that it sucked. I really wanted to beat Ashton so bad tonight, man. Like, oh man, I knew I should have probably came off the top there when he was just running the bottom. I knew I should have just done it, but no, bit myself in the butt.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, Tommy already said it. Congrats. Could have been a P2, but you really wanted to go for that win, so I applaud you for your efforts there. A bit of a reverse Ross Chastain, I suppose.
Yeah.
But man, it looked like you guys were just having a ball out there all night long out front.
Yeah, I was having a ball. I mean, other than, finishing third. I had a good time. A lot of fun race. Like the whole invert thing, it made it very challenging right off the bat at the start. Having to work your way up to the field and just sit there and be patient and wait for people to make mistakes and go past them. And then once got up front and sitting there battling, I think with Ashton, what was it, like 15, 20 laps almost, just constantly side by side. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
After having to miss Auto Club last week, it's good to see you put your best foot forward right out of the gate on your return trip. Anybody you want to shout out or thank you tonight?
Thank you guys at Turn 200. You guys do a great broadcast. I love watching it, and I know the fans love it too. And all of us racers here at Max Velocity love it too. And everybody that showed up tonight. I know it was a small field. I wasn't expecting that many, but to get more than 20 was still a good field for me. And looking forward to next week.
And all these drivers in turn, I'm sure, thank you here tonight for all the work that you put into this league week in and week out, and it shows. Fantastic racing once again here tonight, and you get to say that you ended up on the podium after all of it. So good run here tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you again here soon.
All right, see you guys.
Then with the final corner charge, Ronnie Norman going to come away with the P2 finish here tonight. Welcome back to Booth 200. Welcome to the podium. How are we feeling after 50 at Knoxville?
Feeling pretty good. Did not expect a top 3 here tonight. So definitely gonna take this one and run with it for sure.
I mean, I feel like you had a lot of speed all night long. What were the expectations coming into tonight?
I mean, I got some dirt experience under my belt, so I was, at least hoping for a top 5 at least. I knew we got some pretty good drivers in here, so did all right in the heat. Came out. I think I started 11th, and then got caught up in that big one. And I went to the back of the field, so I literally had to drive through the field back up to the front. So luckily, didn't get into anybody. Hopefully, I don't think I did. At least maybe I did, but no, we got up through the field and was able to get back up here, and I was completely content with just riding behind James and Ashton there to end that race out. And we kept getting those yellows, so I was just hanging on for a podium there. And like I said, the yellows kept flying. I'm like, come on, let's get these laps over with, so that way I can get up here and talk to you guys. So kind of settled down there with those last 10 laps. I felt like I had a really good line I was running and felt pretty smooth, and was able to drag race James to the line there to put on a heck of a finish. So I seen him throw it in there going into 3, and I ran my regular line, and so I knew maybe I had a chance at second place. And it was crazy coming to the finish. So hopefully it was pretty fun to watch on the broadcast.
Oh, it was definitely a lot of fun, and I think the big headline out of tonight is going to be everybody got into everybody. So that's I wouldn't worry even if you hit every single truck on your way back up through the field. Matt, what do you got for Ronnie?
And congrats on the P2. You snuck one in there on James. You talked about the lines you were running a little bit. I know you were running the bottom most of the race. From your perspective, how did the track change on you? Did you kind of do anything different than you expected coming into tonight, or did it kind of play to your hand as the track developed?
I don't really know. I just kind of came in. I knew the low line was going to be the fast line on a good track where it was not slicked up yet or anything. So just trying to hook the berm. I know I hooked it a lot, way higher than I wanted to a lot of the times. But I ran the top side a little bit because I know who was it that was coming through there? I think it was Justin. He was running the high side, and he had so much speed that I had to go up there just because I had to try to block what he was doing. And then unfortunately he got loose and spun it. So I don't know what he was doing. He definitely would have got me if he would have been able to keep it straight. So was not comfortable on the top side. Definitely was that middle to low for me tonight. So luckily everybody was already running the middle to low and was just kind of able to keep it out in front of everybody else.
Having a pretty good points run so far. And it's hard to believe that this is not only your first podium of the season, but also your first top 5 with how well you've been running this season. So take you a little time. Thank anybody you want to thank here and shout out whoever you want to shout out. You earned it.
Yeah, no, like I said, with these races I've been getting into, like last week, it just didn't show. It didn't show what we've been running with the 23rd place finish. I mean, I easily had a top 6, I felt like, and then getting spun on the last lap, going 3 wide. It was just super unfortunate. So yeah, just lucky to still be up here in the points. And yeah, no, just want to give a shout out to NOS Energy Drinks for being on the car, McAllister Reynolds of Columbus, Indiana, Snyder Graphics for making my paint schemes. Thank you guys at Turn 200 for broadcasting these races for us. Shout out to everybody. I sent the league too that watched the race tonight. Even anybody just in general watching tonight, watching the broadcast. Congrats to Ashton on the win and James for 3rd. And I don't know where we go on to next, but definitely did not expect my first podium to be at a dirt track race. So hopefully we can string together a couple more here in the upcoming weeks.
I think we know where your extra speed came from tonight. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. You're running the NOS truck at Knoxville. I mean, that's got to count for a lot. But congrats on the P2 here. I know we'll be talking to you again soon. Keep up the good work, partner.
I certainly hope so. I appreciate you guys.
And that one driver that is absolutely not a stranger to Booth 200 in the last few weeks, Ashton Crowder, is going to claim another victory on the season. Welcome back to the booth. I just talked to you before the race. Didn't really waste any time at all working your way back up through the field and getting out front.
Yeah, we got a bit unlucky. Getting in that first wreck, we got hit pretty hard in the right front. I think honestly, I think that took quite a bit of pace away from us later because we didn't quite have the bite that we needed. But I mean, we played the race pretty much perfectly, getting up through the field and looking for our spots and where I need to pass guys. I don't think we ever really buzzed the tires once, so that was really nice. Just glad I could do well on the dirt stuff. I was pretty worried that I wasn't going to be super fast, but after qualifying, then the heat race, and then that at the end there, I honestly couldn't be any more happy with how we did.
Now, with you battling with James for such a long time, and you tending to stay on the bottom of the track, he was wanting to work the top for as long as possible. Did you know the top was going to fade away from him eventually?
I don't know if it really faded away. More so, his tires probably just got really hot up there. It seemed like it was kind of drying out pretty rapidly towards the end of that run, or in the race, not the run. So, I mean, I guess kind of had a feeling. The practice session that we had, it got really dry and started to slick off a good bit, and the bottom seemed to really be the place to be. You saw that in the heats as well. Pretty much everybody that was running really fast times was right around the bottom, even into the 3rd heat. So pretty much just played that game. I mean, early on, I was quite slow. I was beating the guys I need to beat, but in terms of pace, wasn't really there. So I mean, that was a bit frightening, not gonna lie, but yeah, I mean, it just worked out really well, keeping the rears on it and trying to protect the fronts a little bit too, so I could have some turn later just in case it really slicked up.
Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Man, congrats. A heck of a drive through the field. When you made the move for the lead originally, it was almost a picture identical to what happened in the heat race. Did you take a little of what you learned there from the heat race and apply it to that feature when you made that first pass for the lead as well?
Yeah, I mean, I take everything, every move that I make, everything that I do, carry it over into the next situation I'm in. So I'm always trying to learn But especially on dirt, though, everything's really situational. I feel like on the asphalt oval stuff, it's quite cut and dry. What's going to happen? You can really predict things, but over here, you know, somebody wheel spins on the top, it can put you in a bad spot if you're on the bottom, and vice versa. So you really just gotta plan it out, move by move. To be honest with you, I don't really remember what I did to get the lead. I just know that I was probably on the bottom. But just trying to hold good traction and not give up too much on exit if I was having to run a little bit of a slider line.
Well, it's your 5th start of the season. It's your 3rd win. Anybody you want to shout out or thank here tonight?
Yeah, you know, everybody at the Drill Spill, BC Lunar Tech. This is a fixed series, but you know they put a lot in, and couldn't be any happier with what they're doing. You know, you guys for putting on the broadcast, the league. Sorry if this interview is a bit incoherent. I'm really tired, so I'm struggling here. But yeah, I mean, want to say I expected this to be really fun, and it was even more fun than what I thought it was going to be. So huge shout out to, I mean, everybody who raced it. We probably should have had a lot more people show up. I think people were just kind of scared because it was dirt and didn't want to like feel like they could waste their time or something. That's usually how people kind of think about it. But I mean, however many laps I put down tonight, like I had fun every single lap I was out there, even if it was under caution. Just thinking about the race and what I need to do it was a blast. So I was really thankful to be a part of it.
Well, it was a blast to watch, partner, and you and James were putting on a show up front, and you get to walk away with the truck in victory lane at the end of the night. So congratulations, and hopefully we'll be seeing you next week at Daytona.
Hopefully. I'll see y'all.
Yes, Ronnie said, I don't know where we're off to next. It is double Daytona week for Turn 200 next week. We've got Truck 200 at Daytona on Monday, and we are back to Daytona with Maximum Velocity on Thursday for our first of 2, I believe, super speedway races this season. I don't think we go to the New Atlanta, so just 2 super speedways for Maximum Velocity. But one of them at Daytona next week. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, actually, it will be. I think it'll be 3 in total because I think New Atlanta was the season opener, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm dumb. I forgot we were already at New Atlanta. I couldn't find it on the bottom half of the calendar, and that's because it was the opening race of the season. Thank you. Somebody's thinking here in the booth.
Well, we have a little bit of experience on super speedway tracks, but there's still just something way different about the new version of Atlanta. So, I mean, we're really getting our first taste of the absolute wide open pedal to the metal action of Daytona. From what I've seen of our drivers on other tracks, it's going to be buttoned up, but it's going to be buttoned up chaos, I do believe. So that'll be a good thing to look forward to here coming up next Thursday. You already mentioned it. We're going to Daytona in Truck 200 as well. That might be less buttoned up, but it might be just as good of a show. So we're looking forward to the races coming up on the channel this week. And just want to say thanks to everybody that tunes in for our races. You know, it means a lot to have some support here on the channel. Glad that everybody seems to enjoy the broadcasts, and glad that the drivers enjoy it as well. This is going to be a great one. I know that a lot of people kind of stay away from the dirt stuff, just like the driver said tonight, but man, it was a heck of a show. So I hope that we have many people watch this one back because it was a special one. And shout out to the first time Noah Rainwater and Michelle Kirk in the chat, and a special shout out to Michelle Kirk. She is always in here chatting with us all night long, and appreciate her tuning in and giving her 2 cents in here while we're broadcasting, so appreciate that.
Absolutely. Like Matt alluded to, some interesting broadcasts taking place next week. Monday from Truck 200 at Daytona. Tuesdays, the Venom Truck Series at Auto Club. Wednesday for the Daredevil Series at Monza, combined without the first chicane. Oh, man, that is certainly going to be something, especially with recent developments. And then, of course, next week, we are back at Daytona twice in a week, this time with Maximum Velocity next Thursday night. To make sure that you are here and on time, be sure to scroll down, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and hit like on the stream while you're down there. Everything is going to help us out in the long haul here. We appreciate every single one of you for coming out and hanging out with us here tonight. If you want to do a little bit more hanging out, the link is in the description to our Discord servers. So come on down and join that. We will have an announcement tomorrow morning. So you don't have much longer to wait to find out what that is and how you potentially could be a part of it. So join the Discord for that. We'll have full details about it on the Truck 200 broadcast on Monday as well. So lots to look forward to in the next week, and we hope you'll be a part of it. But until we meet again, for everybody with the Maximum Velocity Racing League, for the GOAT, Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. We are saying so long here on Turn 200 from virtual Knoxville, where Ashton Crowder steals the show and takes the win in Dirt Racing Night in America.